Hi everyone, my name is Dawn Michelle and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about intuition, and I want to talk about intuition for a man and a woman. It doesn't matter. We all have intuition. What I've noticed here lately is that the reason why I'm having this topic is because I've noticed that there are some people that are very intuitive that are in my life. And it's not just women, it's men as well. And the reason why I'm bringing this video to light is because I feel like there may be a lot of men out there that don't realize that they have just as much of an intuition as us women. Okay? But normally we associate intuition with, just intuitively knowing that someone's cheating or lying or, keeping something away from you, not telling you everything, things like that, But then you can also have intuition as far as if a place feels right for you. Like say you go somewhere for a job interview, you may really want the job, but it just doesn't feel like a fit for you. That may be telling you something. And then a lot of times, when we're facing situations like that, where we just really need the job or whatever the case may be, or want to prove a point, however it goes, we take the job against our own better judgment, against our own intuition, okay? But more specifically, I've noticed that it's just like I said earlier, it's really more about relationships and knowing if you can trust that person or trust yourself with that person. And so when I'm speaking about intuition, I want us to not be blinded and think, oh, this video is just for women. This video is for you men as well. Young, old, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what race you are, what origin, it doesn't matter, any of that. At the end of the day, we all have an inner voice inside that kind of like is that guide. And we know that we have this. But what happens is that because you can't see it or you can't feel it, taste it, or, with any of the senses, we kind of push it to the back burner. A lot of times with intuition, you can get a feeling, a sensation, a pain, an ache, something that happens that's trying to tell you something. But see, the thing is only you know that. Okay? So if you don't take time to know yourself and to figure out these things for yourself, then you're going to continue to be lost in this world. Because at the end of the day, everything really starts with you, okay? Self-actualization, self-reflection. What else do I have on here? Self-mastery. Yes, self-mastery and self-love. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you love yourself, then you're going to master yourself. And if you want to master yourself, then you're definitely loving yourself. Okay? But sometimes we don't want to reflect. Now, here's the thing. Okay? In order to know this intuition thing, and if it has been a guide, you're going to probably have to go back into your past. You're probably going to have to reach for some memories that you really don't want to go back for. Okay? You may have to go back to your youth. Okay? You might have to go way back. Because 9 times out of 10, your intuition was already kicking in back then. but you just didn't know what it was. Okay? Now, what I've also known or noticed, shall I say, with intuition is that is something that is self-driven. So you can't ask anyone else about what you're going through or the feeling that you're having, because guess what? You're the only one that's having this feeling. Now, what you can is you may come across people like myself or others out in the world who know this and who know what you're speaking of and hopefully can point you in the right direction. Okay? Because a lot of times we want to go to people and outside sources, but this is an inside thing. Okay? It's going to require what is called discernment. Okay? It's going to require for you to know and to understand what is good and what is bad for you. Okay? Whether you want to see it or not. But these things are only the things that you can find out. You can't ask someone, yeah, they can give their opinion. Okay? I've had friends, family that led me in the right direction, you know, because sometimes we're not ready to receive whatever it is. And sometimes it's almost like we need a validation from them. And you don't need anybody's validation but your own. Because, see, when you're going through this thing that you need intuition on or about, I don't care if you tell everybody you think every detail or whatever, you're still not giving the full story. So when you're telling these people and you're showing this conviction and whatever you're feeling, and you know that you feel this inside of yourself, they can't feel that for you. So what I'm telling you is basically trust your gut, people. Trust your gut. Trust whatever the heck it is. If it says, if you're around someone, it just doesn't feel right, then guess what? It's probably not right. Okay? Now, this is the thing. Can your intuition or can your discernment be thrown off? Yes, it can. And you want to know when I say it can? It can be thrown off when you have not mastered yourself. It can be thrown off when you are still asking other people if this is right for you or right for them or whatever, instead of just knowing and doing whatever is right for you. Okay? Because it's normally when you haven't spent a moment alone, you're just running around out in the world doing this and doing that, and you don't even know what you're doing and why you're doing it for. Okay? So can your intuition be wrong and jacked up? Yes, there are several instances where your intuition can be wrong and jacked up. But let me just say this. When you know what you know what you know. So it doesn't matter what anybody or anything you know what you know. And there's not anything that anybody can physically do to change your mind. That's when you know. Okay? Stop looking for other people to validate you. Stop looking for other people, because you can do that. You are responsible in this lifetime to at least know yourself. How many people are walking around here and don't have a clue? I'm not sitting here talking to this phone, which in essence is really you guys, okay? I'm doing this because I know without a shadow of a doubt that there are people out there going through these such things. Heck, I've gone through them. I got friends and family that have gone through them. Okay? What I'm saying, learn yourself. Trust your gut. Trust the feeling. Stop waiting for this, I guess we all just need this evidence. We need this proof. And I think I've said this in more than enough videos at this point, that If you do not trust you, okay? If you don't love yourself, okay? If you don't have faith, okay? If you don't have belief, then what are you here for? I know enough to know that regardless of anything in this life, sometimes you got to believe in the intangible or the things that are not tangible, the things that you can't necessarily touch or that you can't necessarily feel. So you mean to tell me because I hurt this person's feelings, because it didn't hurt me directly, that their feelings aren't hurt? I can't feel whatever they're feeling. But maybe I can take my place to it back in a moment in time where somebody hurt my feelings, and maybe I can feel empathy and go back to that person later on and say, I'm sorry. But I'm supposed to believe that because they're going through this and I can't feel it, that it's not real? It is real. Just like your intuition is real. Just like your gut is real. Okay? And anybody that you're telling these things to and they're telling you to, don't listen to them. And maybe you might not need to trust them as much as you do. Okay? Because another thing that I'm noticing is that when you do go to people, you're not going to people that's like-minded. You're going to people outside of the box. You're going to people that's in your family who have nothing to do with anything, but because they're family, you're asking them, and because you feel this and that, and then you tell them and they done crushed your moment because they don't feel what you feel. They're not going to feel what you feel, and that's why you have to trust your own intuition. That's why you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself enough to know that regardless of what is sitting right in front of you and what is not, that you can manifest whatever the heck you want. Okay, but you got to be careful. You really have to be careful. I'm telling you now that I know a lot of bad situations didn't have to happen if someone might have used their intuition or their discernment. But see, a lot of times we'll go against that because of what somebody else says to us or what somebody else does or how they feel about it. And it has nothing to do with you. Or they make you feel bad. Oh, you're not, but you don't want to. Because sometimes you just got to learn how to say no. Okay? I know one thing. I know enough to know that sometimes when things are good for me, my intuition will make it so it's almost feeling like a heartbreak, like it's something I don't want to go through and I don't want to do. And then when I finally do it, I feel so empowered. Because at the end of the day, it was something in that moment that I knew I had to do that thing. And maybe I was just afraid. Maybe I had a fear. And we know that you're not supposed to be afraid or have fear because those are not real either. But if you're going to do anything in this life, choose positive. Choose the positive over the negative. You know, choose belief over fear. Choose trust over being afraid. Okay? Because in those steps towards those things, that's what's going to lead you to whatever you're looking for. Whatever that is. If it's the love of your life, trust your gut with who you're meeting. If it's the job opportunity, trust whatever you're feeling. If the atmosphere doesn't feel right, then maybe you shouldn't do it. If something doesn't seem right, maybe you shouldn't be doing that either. Just trust yourself enough to know that whatever your inner guide is, which is your intuition, is telling you, is accurate. And then you make the appropriate steps for whatever you need to do after that. Okay? Use your intuition as your guide. It's not just about men and women, okay? Honestly, that's all I have for us today. I just wanted to stress the fact that we need to follow our inner voice and not be afraid of it. Do the things that you know that are in your heart to do, and maybe not do those things that you really don't feel you need to be doing them. I mean, this message is to encourage you. To encourage you to use your intuition, to let it be your guide, to follow it, to trust your gut, and let it lead you to your dreams. Well, if you guys made it to the end, I want to say thank you so much. I love you. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. If you like, you can comment. And you can also share. Any feedback that you have for me is greatly appreciated. And I want to say, love you and have a wonderfully blessed day. This is Dawn Michelle signing out. Peace.